Chapter 2. The Awakening of Power. The four stood there, breathless, trying to process the overwhelming revelation. Lancelot, Koga, Leonidas, and Cerberus. These weren't just spirits. They were an extension of their very being. But before they could fully comprehend their newfound bond, the stillness of the forest was shattered by a guttural growl. Emerging from the dense woods, twisted monstrosities slithered and lumbered forth. Their grotesque forms, a fusion of bone, shadow, and raw malice, made it clear that they were not mere animals, but something much worse.
Wonderful, Lancelot smirked, drawing his ethereal sword. A perfect opportunity to test your powers.
Powers? Izashi asked, eyes darting between the approaching creatures and his spectral companion. We don't even know how to use them yet.
Then why not summon your units first? Lancelot suggested, raising his hand. Let them handle this.
Units, Caleb echoed, confused.
Each of you has your own assigned unit of spirit soldiers, Leonidas explained. Their lives are tied to your soul, as are ours. Allow us to show you. With a mere wave of his hand, Lancelot summoned 10 blue-armored knights from the ground. Their bodies shimmered with a translucent glow, eyes burning with unwavering loyalty.
These are your soldiers, Lancelot continued, formed from mana bound to your will. As you grow stronger, so will they.
Izashi, Caleb, Will, and Terence exchanged glances, then focused on the marks on their hands. Almost instinctively, they channeled their energy into them. The markings flared with vibrant light, and in an instant, more spectral warriors materialized beside them, each reflecting the essence of their respective spirits. Izashi's unit bore the sleek, predatory form of shadowy ninjas, their movements fluid and silent. Caleb's soldiers stood as valiant knights, mirroring Lancelot's regal presence. Will's fighters were Spartan warriors, shields locked together in an unbreakable formation. Terence's soldiers, however, were the most fearsome, hulking, beast-like figures with flaming eyes, their very presence exuding intimidation. The monsters hesitated for only a moment before charging forward with terrifying speed.
Command them, Koga instructed Izashi. They will obey your will.
Acting on instinct, Izashi thrust his hand forward. Attack!
His ninjas vanished into the shadows, reappearing behind the creatures in a blink. Their blades slashed through darkened flesh, causing the beasts to shriek in agony. Meanwhile, Caleb's knights surged forward, swords flashing like silver lightning, cutting through the abominations with precision and grace. Will's Spartans formed an unbreakable phalanx, blocking the creatures' attacks before countering with lethal thrusts. Terence's beasts tore through their foes with primal fury, ripping them apart as flames erupted from their very forms. The battle was swift, but brutal. The monsters, despite their monstrous strength, were no match for the combined might of the four warriors and their spirit units. Within minutes, silence returned to the battlefield, the corrupted bodies dissolving into the ether.
Caleb let out a shaky breath, his hand still trembling. That was insane.
Izashi wiped the sweat from his brow, his heart pounding. We actually did that.
Indeed, Lancelot nodded approvingly. This is only the beginning. The more you fight, the more control you'll gain.
So, what now? Will asked, scanning the ruined battlefield. We can't just wander around without a plan.
Agreed, Leonidas said. You must seek a place to train, to understand your abilities.
There is a city not far from here, Cerberus rumbled. A place where warriors are forged.
As the night turned to day, Lancelot, Koga, Leonidas, and Cerberus took their humanoid forms, shocking the four warriors.
What the heck? Izashi shouted in confusion.
Forgive us, Koga replied, his voice calm. Like you, we can take human-like forms. This allows us to walk beside you and move freely during the day. Our spirit forms would only bring unnecessary trouble to you, young masters.
Lancelot stepped forward, his regal presence unwavering. We shall make our way towards Vergus village. There, we will find shelter and food for you.
Leonidas crossed his arms, his expression serious. More importantly, we sense a battle approaching that village.
Cerberus growled in agreement. We will use this opportunity to gain their favor. Once we save them, that village will be the stepping stone towards stopping Antares.
Koga turned to the four with a stern look. Let us move. We must reach Vergus village before nightfall.
Izashi furrowed his brow. Why? What happens at night?
Be on your guard, Koga warned. The Dark Ones wander the roads after sunset. Pray we do not run into them, as you four are not yet ready to face such foes.
The Dark Ones? Caleb repeated, his confusion evident.
They were once spirits like us, Lancelot explained gravely, but they fell into darkness. Now they serve Antares. They are formidable warriors, and even at full power we may not be able to defeat them easily.
A heavy silence fell over the group as the weight of Lancelot's words sank in. The path ahead was treacherous, but they had no choice but to move forward. As they made their way toward the village, they stumbled upon a woman surrounded by high orcs and goblin honor guards.
What should we do? Will asked, gripping his weapon.
Should we save her? Caleb questioned.
Yeah, but what's the plan? Terrence chimed in.
Izashi, it's up to you. You're our leader, Will said.
Me, Izashi replied in confusion before taking a deep breath. Let's save the girl.
With that, the four summoned their spirit units and charged into battle. The clash of swords and battle cries filled the air as steel met flesh. The high orcs were powerful, but the spirits and their warriors fought relentlessly. Eventually, the battle came to an end, the last goblin falling to the ground. They rushed over to the woman to check if she was okay. Lancelot knelt beside her and began healing her wounds.
Who are you guys? She asked weakly.
I'm Izashi, he replied.
Name's Caleb, Caleb added.
I'm Will chimed in.
You can call me Terrence, Terrence said with a smirk.
Thank you all for saving me, the woman said, relief washing over her face.